May I have your attention? All right, gentlemen. The emergency meeting is now in session. In attendance from the board, Mr. Anstead, Head of Governmental Relations, Mrs. Zimmer, Head of Operations, and myself, Chief Executive Officer. And our governmental representative, Mr. Kimura, Secretary General, General Strickland, Head of Military Command, and Mr. Stevens, U.S. Delegate. South Korean delegate Mr. Chung couldn't attend due to hospitalization, but Mr. Park is here as a stand-in. All right. You've all been briefed prior to this meeting, correct? So I'll keep this introduction short. On May 13th, 6:32 PST, MC-130A-1 fired a trajectory altering stream at interstellar object 200X-I-12. Now, just as it approached Jupiter with the intent of knocking it into its orbit, on May 15th, we received word that 200X is instead on an unavoidable collision course with Earth due to strike date found on July 26th, Mr. Anstead.
We expect the impact to be sometime in the early morning of the 26th, with the hypocenter over Chung District. We don't yet have clear readings of 200X's composition, so it's hard to make any concrete predictions. But we anticipate a heavy blast radius of 20 kilometers and potentially fatal radiation up to a radius of around 200 kilometers.
200 kilometers? That's damn near the whole country.
Unfortunately so. We predict close to a 100% fatality rate from Seoul to Busan. We advise evacuation of any peoples of interest well in advance of the collision date. Current research suggests Jeju Island should be safe from the effects of the impact.
And what about MC-130? Has knowledge of the satellite been exposed because of this?
MC-130 is still undetected. It's been closed since the firing at 200X. We've heard no reports of sightings nor rumors of its existence. We remain confident that it hasn't yet been discovered.
We need that thing gone before anyone does.
Plans are being prepared to evacuate MC-130 from the solar system. We're currently extracting all necessary resources that are still on board. The jettison procedure will begin after that in the next few months. It should be out of communications reach within weeks of giving the order. Until then, cloaking will remain in place.
Know this. No one's going to know about the satellite at the moment. I guarantee it.
Meanwhile, we advise keeping all communications around this incident to a minimum. We predict a large loss of life, but there's nothing that can be done to prevent it. It makes very little difference to the fatality rate to declare 200X a threat now, or a week before its collision. But if we keep our cards close to our chests, we can at least ensure our own safety is still...
Jesus, they knew. I need to tell Salyun. We gotta talk.
What did you find out?
It's true what that woman said. That satellite is definitely real, but it's not just for mining. That's what they say it does. Sure, but it's capable of going way over the legal limit.
Slow down. What do you mean?
This satellite, it uses some kind of plasma laser for drilling, right? There's a restriction on how powerful these kind of things can be, and anything above 5 gigawatts is classified as a threat to world safety or something like that. They claim it's above board, that it complies with the Space Warfare Treaty, all that good stuff, but that's a fucking lie. It's way more powerful. I'm talking hundreds of gigawatts. It's a goddamn superweapon.
Over 100 gigawatts? That would be enough to obliterate a city.
Exactly. This is not some innocent little mining company. Stellar Mineral is way more influential behind the scenes. Like world stage levels of influential. They're meeting up with some very big, very shady people from around the world.
Like who?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't recognize any names.
How do you know where they're from?
The way they were talking. Look, Salyun, this isn't some shitty company that was just really into drilling some boring-ass rocks. They knew what this satellite was capable of. They were making secret deals to sell it. That's not the worst part. They knew about the meteor for months before it hit. Said there was something weird about it. Like it was giving off strange signatures. They tried knocking it into Jupiter's orbit to keep it from leaving the solar system. Tried being the key word. If no one touched it, it would have sailed by with no problems. This whole mess is because of their fuck-up. They knocked it into the Earth.
You're accusing Stellar Mineral of causing this entire incident?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They could have at least told us what they've done. They were too busy blasting the satellite into the void to hide the evidence. They didn't tell anyone outside of the little circle of shareholders. It's not just us that's been lied to. This goes way above you and me and HQ and even the government. Stellar Mineral's been pulling the strings from so far up, we can't even see it.
Oh, that's... How much of that is conjecture?
None of it.
None of it? You don't even know who said it. It could be a hoax.
A hoax? What? No way. I know what I saw. God damn it, I knew we shouldn't have split up.
Even if it is true, we've still got a mission to complete. Let's finish getting this train running and discuss it later.
Fine. But this isn't over. So, what do we do now?
Once we reach the dam, I'll head west to the next
No, I mean about the satellite. That woman has a way to access the controls. That means, in theory, we could get that too.
It's irrelevant. We need to confiscate the credentials and eliminate her, but that data won't help the core mission.
If that thing's as powerful as they said, we can use it against the growth. Strike it from orbit. Leave the rest of the country intact. Safer, quicker, easier. Then let's see those bastards try to cover up their little accident.
The mission is to detonate the nuclear warheads. We've been given instructions to...
Whoa. You're not still going ahead with warheads, are you?
I don't like it either, but it's the only way to guarantee the destruction of the main growth.
Are you kidding? That thing's got seed pods on it. You know what happens when they get ruptured? Everything inside's gonna go airborne, and that shit could be spreading way further than Dejan. And there's no way the satellite wouldn't handle it better.
You don't know that. I'm not going against orders and compromising the mission for a hypothetical alternative. If the satellite was the right choice, we would have been told to use it.
The only reason they aren't telling us to use it is because Stellar Mineral is trying to hide it. I told you, it's a cover-up.
That's just your theory.
You're being stupid, Sao Yun.
Don't call me stupid.
I'm not calling you stupid. I know how smart you are. That's why it's so frustrating that you're not getting it. They're lying about what it's capable of because they know a satellite this powerful shouldn't exist. That's why these shady boardroom execs wanted it. But if there's one positive in this whole mess, Sao Yun, is that we can use it to annihilate this tree without spreading the infection. It's the safest way to finish this, and you know it.
That's not for us to question.
Like hell it isn't.
They said we'd be risking world war by using the satellite. Don't you see how much worse that is? Do you really think I would choose to have a nuclear detonation in my home country if there was a better alternative?
They're covering their asses. Look, if we can figure out how to survive in this wasteland with nothing but a couple guns and a little luck, a few guys in suits can figure out how to hash this out peacefully like adults. That's on them, not us.
No, this is on us. There's so much depending on us doing this job correctly. Wild speculation and borderline treason are not in our objectives.
Sao Yun, listen to what you're saying. You're gonna fire off a nuclear blast, flatten what's left of the country, and spread the infection across the planet, and for what? Mission accomplished? Collect your medals, get your paycheck, and call it a day?
It's not about the accolades. If it's the difference between saving someone and saving no one, what choice do we have? Of course, I don't want to do this.
Then don't do it! Think about what you're being asked to do here. If this shit goes airborne, there's gonna be so many lives on the line. Where does it stop? China? London? How can you say for sure the whole world isn't gonna get infected?
If HQ says this is the safest way, we have no choice but to trust them. Who are you to tell me what's right? And who are you to say that this plan will cost more lives than it will save? You're not a scientist. You're not a politician. You and I don't know anything about what's best for the world.
And neither do the guys back at base. It's easy for them to make a call when they're not the ones that have to push the button. Prove me wrong, Sao Yun. Convince me that dropping a nuke is good for anyone except for the suits behind this mess. Tell me how nuclear Armageddon is preferable to getting that satellite, performing a precision strike on that goddamn plant, and leaving the rest of the country untouched so everyone can see what really happened here. There's no way that level of destruction is going to save lives. The only lives it's gonna save is theirs. You know it! Hey! I know you're smart enough to see through this shit. Okay? Like I said, it's not about saving lives. It's about covering asses. And if that's what they really want, they can figure it out without us.
I'm not going against my orders.
Sao Yun.
I said I'm done. I'm not discussing this any further with you.
Hey, Sao Yun.
Hi.
You, hungry?
Depends on what you're cooking.
Yeah, let's see. Most stuff in here looks spoiled, but Well, I can make you noodles. Or, noodles.
Are you sure they're safe to eat?
They're still sealed. They're probably less contaminated than we are. Huh. What does this one say?
Spicy.
And this one?
Extra spicy.
Well then, which one do you want?
I'll take extra spicy.
If you think you can handle it.
I'm more worried that you couldn't.
Well, how is it?
It's not the worst noodles I've had.
It's not? This place must be getting to you. You look pretty beat. You still got about an hour before we're at Daejeon. You want to take a break?
I need to stay alert for the mission.
The mission's not going anywhere while we're stuck on this train. Besides, this is probably the last rest you'll get before things go really south. And go on. I'll keep watch.
Evan, I don't want to do this. The nuclear blast, the radiation. You know I'm only doing it because I have to, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't agree, but I know. Do you really think it's the right thing to do?
I don't know. It doesn't feel right. All I can do is trust them that they know better.
Maybe you need to start trusting yourself.
Evan?
Shh, shh. Stay quiet. There's something on the roof. God damn it! If this keeps up, there won't be any train left!
I'll lure it to the front and detach the control core.
Hey, hold up. You smell that? I think there's a gas leak. Be careful. It might be flammable.